object designated as the frozen Leviathan is the frozen deceased body of a Leviathan-class creature located within a large wall of ice at the Phi excavation site. Observations. The frozen Leviathan is a heavily built creature with a broad body, 4 limbs, and a long tail. This species is one of the largest seen to have lived on 4546b. Much like many of the other extinct Leviathans found throughout 4546b. Running from just behind the shoulders to near the end of the tail is a row of large overlapping plates, which gradually decrease in size as they move towards the tail. The tail is flattened laterally and longer than the entire body. It is slightly broadened at the tip to assist with propulsion. Its 4 limbs are heavily muscled, and each end with a 5-digited paw. Each digit is tipped with a large claw. Additionally, on the undersides of each forelimb there are 3 plates, resembling those seen on the back. There is a small amount of webbing between the digits. The head is broad, relatively flat, and has a wide mouth, filled with thin, long teeth. 34 in the lower jaw and 40 in the upper, for a total of 74. Placed behind the mouth on each side is a large, sickle-shaped bony plate, which projects straight forwards from the head. Another structure, which is similar to these plates, but smaller and pointing backwards rather than forwards, is found further back on the head. The eyes are side-mounted and deeply recessed into the head. Inference. Based on observations of the structure and the build of the frozen Leviathan subject, the following inferences have been made of its life habitats and characteristics. These inferences are to be denoted true unless proven otherwise. With their highly muscular limbs, this creature was capable on land. Due to the creature's considerable bulk, however, it is unlikely it would have hunted on the land, possibly only coming ashore to rest. There is little webbing between the digits, meaning that propulsion using the limbs would have been inefficient. Instead, the long and flattened tail would have been used to propel the creature in the water. It is likely that a crocodilian-like method of movement would have been adopted, keeping the limbs to the side of the body with lateral flexation of the tail, propelling the animal forwards. The long, thin teeth resemble those of large, piscivorous animals. So the creature's diet was likely composed of much smaller creatures than itself, as these thin teeth are poorly suited for grasping large prey. It is possible that the 2 bony plates found on either side of the mouth could be moved by the creature and used to corral groups of fish into the mouth. An alternative usage for these plates could have been breaking sea ice to come to the surface. Another alternative is that it used these plates to compete with others of its species. The plates along the spine and the forearms of the animal suggest a need for defense, likely in disputes between potentially territorial individuals. The Leviathan specimen's species and age is currently unknown, but to be infected with the Corral, this individual must have been active anytime between 1,000 years ago and now. Infection. This creature is noticeably infected with Corral. Environmental conditions and subtle mutations suggest that this variant of the Corral bacterium's rate of transmission is somewhat lower than that of the widespread outbreak previously reported on 4546b. The bacteria's capacity to survive for a long period of time off of the Leviathan's corpse suggest highly efficient saporitic properties. Scans indicate that the pustules are merely the visible component of a dense bacterial network, feeding off the dead cells of the Leviathan. Conclusion. Despite the risk, further research is recommended.